Weekdays from midday. Perspectives. Conversations that matter.
.7 Citizen FM.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Celebrating our cultural pride is our core essence. Let's bring people together through communication as we say we would. Let's meet Oloye Babake.
tó bó ṣe rí lẹ ti gbọ́ ń wo ẹja pàwọ́pọ̀ ká ti ètò yìí lẹ́yìn gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ jíire pátápátá bó ṣe rí lẹ ti gbọ́ ń wo ẹ ṣeun.
Alhaji Sadiq Abubakar.
Barkanmu da warhaka ku kasance tare da mu a cikin shirin kowane rana.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrfence Umoette. Welcome to the second part of this show. And as I told you earlier, yes, my guest is standing by. He is the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewole Adebayo. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And God bless Nigeria. Good morning to your listeners.
Yes, good morning, Prince Adebayo. It's virtually, I think this should be our last intervention with you before the presidential election. It's 4 days.
Never say never. We can still talk tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Only God knows.
Yes. Okay. So it's 4 days, and essentially what we do, what we are doing this week on the program is having a recap of all the candidates and the party leaders we've spoken to since campaign began in the last 6 months or thereabout. So we have like 25 minutes to do this, and we just want to look at a key issues surrounding your manifesto and some of the interventions you've made over the months concerning Nigeria. Straight on. Let's start with the Naira swap, which you call an exercise and not a policy. What is your greatest fear concerning that as far as the election is concerned?
Well, I think we should not worry about fears. I think we should realize that every time there's election, the stakes are high, especially for politicians, because many people will lose their job that they've been holding for 4 years. Many who are their friends in power who are enjoying the benefits, they are afraid of losing it. So the tension will be very high, and they will bring all sorts of provocation to the people. They will say they want to change money, they want to do this, they want to do that. The people should just remain calm, because the actual voting doesn't require stress. You go out, you get accredited, you stay in line, you vote, and then you see the result, and then you leave. It's not complicated. So you can actually vote by throwing the ballot into the box. It's not that complicated. And I don't want people to realize that after the election, life continues. It's the politician. We are not desperate. But if I look at how many have been on this now for over a year, if I look at how much money has been spent, how much effort, how many interviews, traveling. The other day I drove for 17 hours from Taraba because the flight was cancelled. We had to cross River Benue, put all our campaign vehicles inside the boat, side boat to cross. When you look at all of that, it can make you feel like, I have to win. But you can only win peacefully. You can only win where majority cast their vote. So everybody who's a voter is trying to invest in their own destiny. Is trying to invest in the better Nigeria. So they are not actually voting for me. They are voting for the kind of future they want. So you don't take it too personally. So it's either your message didn't reach the people, or the people don't understand it, or they are not ready yet. But if they are ready, they will vote for you, and you go there and serve them. And when you win, it's still the same people you are going to serve. So I want us to not allow this tension which the political class wants to introduce to now come and become a problem to us in this country.
Okay, Prince, let's look at one key aspect of your manifesto that we didn't get to talk about in your several interventions on this program, and that's your foreign policy leanings. Now, I want to look at two issues here. One is the treatment of our embassies and high commissions abroad, and two, the treatment of Nigerians by several governments outside this country. Putting that into perspective, especially when we are also discussing the challenge of irregular migration. How do you hope to address this? How does the SDP government hope to address this?
I've addressed this in my lecture at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. You know, like I said, I was invited by Chatham House in London, but I was first to be invited, and I let them know that foreign policy of Nigeria should be dictated from inside Nigeria. Therefore, let me go to Nigerian Institute of International Affairs first. When I go there, then I can now go anywhere else. And after that, I went to the Nigerian Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru. So and my message there was that foreign diplomacy is an adjunct, is a subset, an adjunct of domestic priorities. Therefore, how you want to be treated abroad should start from home. Number one, the government of Nigeria can only articulate foreign policy in order to solve our problems at home. And our problems at home are poverty and insecurity. So any foreign diplomacy I am doing on behalf of Nigeria as president is to look for friends and allies who will help us get out of poverty and get out of insecurity. Second, the way our embassies abroad will look is how we look here. So if your government buildings are dilapidated, you don't pay salary of workers, then how do you expect your embassy to be different? So it is from home that you take treasures outside, as Yoruba will say. In Latin, you take your treasures from home. And that home where you are taking, so if the person is going outside, dressed in lace, gold, everything, the assumption is that he has more of such at home. So, but if he's going out and doing that and he gets to the house, he's in rags, that would be unusual. Thirdly, while it is not good to treat Nigerians shabbily outside, but let me ask a question. Are Nigerians better treated at home? So it is how we want to be treated outside is how we should start treating people at home. So I will run a government in which Nigerian police does not beat the citizen. They don't force them to give them bribe. They don't kill them on the road. I myself, I pay salary on time. I give dignity to my people. I obey court order. I don't abuse their right. So when I do that at home, how can you now, as a foreigner, maltreat my people when you see the way I'm treating them at home? Even their embassies here will let them know in their country that Nigeria has changed. Right now, you cannot even maltreat a Nigerian. They don't arrest them anyhow. But if you are walking on the street of Ilesha or the street of Ife, Ondo, Ibadan, Kano, Port Harcourt, police can grab you and carry you somewhere, and your family has to come and pay you with money after 2 or 3 days. So if you are doing that to your citizen at home, if Buhari is passing, if Buhari is coming to Osun State now or your state or anywhere, his soldier will start beating people from 2 hours before he arrives, flog motorists, push you out the road. If you are doing that to your citizen, what mouth do you have to talk about foreigners treating your people badly? Thirdly, the fourth is that our people are running out. So we are becoming cheaper and cheaper. Before, they used to desire us, look for us, either as students, brilliant students, either as professionals coming to work, either as business people coming to do business with them, or as tourists coming to patronize their hotels, shopping mall, and all of that. Now they are seeing us coming there anyhow just to survive. So it will be cheap. Right now, Nigerians have a lot of respect for Germans. If you see Germans or see other people. But if you see Germans all coming to Nigeria, you find them in leisure carrying pom-pom on their head. You see them in the bush begging for money. It won't be long before you say Germans are they are this and that. You start to underrate them. The same way we used to respect Ghana before. When Nkrumah was in government, Nigerians used to go and school in Ghana. Every conference, they say, let's go to Ghana. Even our civil war, we went to Ebri in Ghana to go and negotiate the peace there. Then when Ghana ran into trouble, and Ghanaians were coming, and you find them on the streets, they are young girls, became women of easy virtue in various brothels all over Nigeria. They were all coming. People started treating Ghanaians like nothing, because there will be a whole Ghana graduate who has master's degree in engineering, will be carrying sewing machine on his head, looking for how to sew your shoe or something. If you want to dig a well, you go and call a Ghanaian who has a degree in pharmacy. Will be digging well for you. So they became commonized. They will be driving taxis everywhere. So that is what is happening to Nigeria now. And that is why we need good government at home to restore the dignity of Nigeria. And that dignity has to come from home. It's not from outside.
Oh, well, if you're just joining us, it's Insights on Citizen FM 93.7. You can join us on our live stream on YouTube by typing in Citizen FM 93.7. You can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng, and not forgetting that you can follow us on our social media platforms at Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. My guest is Prince Adewole Adebayo, a presidential candidate, Social Democratic Party, and we're doing a recap of all the political interventions over the last 6 months. You can also call us on 0903 2229 797, or you can call us on 0818 2222 205 or 0808 2222 Any of these numbers, let's talk. And I'm sure that Princes will also react to some of these questions. And you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of those numbers. Just let us know where you're writing in from. Prince, recently I stumbled on your meeting or intervention with a group of experts somewhere in Nigeria, and you said something that got me thinking. And there is a quote. You said, our understanding is that almost everybody is a person with disability. Obviously, you were speaking about plans for people with disability. Now, we know that over the years, governments in Nigeria have always spoken glowingly about plans for people with disability. What specifically will an SDP government do differently this time to address these challenges, which are numerous?
Number one is that government failure to attend to those with disability should not be a surprise, because government has failure in attending to anyone at all, whether you have ability, disability, whatever. So the first way to approach the issue of people with disability is one, to recognize that everyone has disability. Whether you are using glasses or you are using hearing aid, some way or the other, there's something about you that doesn't work well. So that is why we have disability. We have to recognize that. So you remove the stigma. So the fact that I have the disability of my leg not working, you shouldn't look down on me because you have disability of your nose not working. Some people don't smell well. Some people don't hear well. Some people don't see well. However, so you have to remove all of this stigma and realize that anybody can be born with some disability and what you need to do. In fact, many of the students whom we call Olodo, they actually have learning disability. They're very brilliant. But they have learning disability. So if our educational approach, so you have brilliant students, bright students, it doesn't mean that they are most intelligent. Those people who are slow in learning may end up actually retain more and be more useful in their work. That's why over the years, you will find out a young boy in your class who used to come last is now a managing director in a bank. You'll be surprised how. It's because the learning disability later became overcome. So that's number one. Number two is to ensure that the way we aided the disability of others, we should aid the disability of other people as well. The reason why we use aircraft to fly, design helicopter, aeroplane, is that as far as birds are concerned, humans, we have disability, we cannot fly. So our hands, which is like the birds will say, look at the wings of humans, cannot make them fly. So they have disability. Then we went and invented aircraft. We can even fly faster than the birds. So we are now better than the birds because of that disability. If we didn't have that disability, if humans were born with the ability to fly, we will not invent aeroplane anymore. So you can turn your disability to ability. You can. So for us, look at our Paralympics. They always come tops because they overcame their disability. We made investment in it. So that's why our full-fledged team cannot win anything. They can't win World Cup, they can't win African Cup of Nations, they can't win anything. But our group of Paralympics, they are always doing well. Thirdly, is that generally, when you are disabled, the condition and the country into which you are born makes a difference. A blind person in Germany will automatically be born into society in which there are brailles, there are schools, there are buses designed for people who cannot see. The person who is old and feeble in London already has buses with step up that can carry them everywhere. They already have an abundant supply of wheelchairs that are automated. So we need to generally make our roads work, because as the people with ability suffer, people with disability will suffer more. So the general condition in the country, to improve the general condition in the country, is going to help those with disability. Creating employment for everyone. If the people with disability cannot be immediately employed, the family members who are employed will take care of them. Then we will now go to the point where we start to condition our employment environment so that we can employ those with disability, those who cannot see. And when I was at Kuru, I gave at NIPS in Kuru, I gave an illustration of Linus, who was born blind. I was my classmate at the law school. He passed. And a friend of mine who was very brilliant with complete eyesight and everything, he had to rewrite his exam. And he was very sad that he didn't pass, but he was even more surprised that Linus, who was blind, passed and was called to the bar before him. So the long and short of it is that it is possible. So the kind of investment that has been made in Linus, if that investment is made in all the blind people in the country, by carrying them to the School of the Blind, you can see kudos to partially School of the Blind. You know how many blind people they have produced who are now doctors, engineers, and all of that. And when I was living in California, in New York, many years ago, my governor, the governor of New York, was a blind man, and was one of our top governors. He did his job, even though he was a blind man. He could not see you. He was governing New York State, and he had never set his eye on what the state looked like because he was blind, but he was able to run the state. So what I'm saying in essence is that what we call disability is our attitude to it. So there are many programs, and every program, including our law enforcement, including our legal regime. As a lawyer in America, one thing you must first learn before you even practice law is what we call ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. So any building you want to build, the blind must be able to walk around it. So if you are writing first floor, second floor, you must put the braille there so that they can touch it and know where they are. You must create a ramp. For every step you create, you must create ramp. If you are putting elevators, it must be elevator that can carry wheelchair and things like that. And if you are in public transportation, you can only use buses that can allow wheelchair to enter and things like that. We can do that across, and we will do well to do that. So the approach of just handing money down to the disabled is still part of the idea of associating a disabled person with a beggar. A disabled person is automatically a beggar. You know, the same thing I say about widows, that a widow is not automatically poor. Because when I was growing up, my mother was a widow, but she wasn't poor. She was even helping families with complete husband and wife. She was feeding them, helping them. So it's not every widow that's automatically now in poverty, and it's not every disabled person that's automatically a beggar or suffering. No, they can generate wealth. They can do very well. One of the most comfortable cobblers in my hometown is one Mr. Ade, call him Mr. Adebayo. He had 2 wives, 3 wives. He was feeding them well. All his children went to school. But he was a cobbler. He was crippled, but he was a very good cobbler, making a lot of money. So, and that is later became the chairman, Association of People with Disability in Ondo State, and he will play a very active role in politics. And one of the biggest presidents of the biggest country, fighting the biggest war in human history, was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, president of the US, that defeated Hitler, did everything, rescue Europe. He couldn't walk. He was on wheelchair.
Okay, Prince, now let's look at another issue. In the next 24 hours, the presidential candidate, including yourself, are expected to meet again at the peace meeting. I think this should be the final one before the election. That's the third, I think. It doesn't look as if the last 2 yielded so much, or do you think otherwise?
No, you see, the issue is the effort. I said it the other time, that even from the first peace accord, they were already breaching it. Today now I'm supposed to do a rally in Ibadan. Suddenly, Governor Makinde started putting pressure. And so Commissioner of Police told us, okay, come and do it tomorrow. Come and do it. You can't go to my poor hall now. I can't guarantee safety. Is it not bad? It's a very bad thing. And people are coming from all over the country for the SDP rally in Oyo. So we spend so much money. People have spent their money. People have arrived in Ibadan. So are we going to disobey the Commissioner of Police, go there and allow bloodshed? So what are we supposed to do? And they've been sending fake rumors. SDP is adopting them. Well, we're not adopting them. It's also part of the thing they were warned. Don't go and be sending fake news. You go and take somebody who left SDP 10 years ago, and you say, oh, come, just pretend to be SDP, so you have adopted me. All sorts of nonsense like that. But it doesn't stop us from continuing to do the right thing. It's just these people are stubborn. These politicians, they are stubborn because they assume that the office is meant for them. The whole government belongs to them. They don't know that they are just temporarily selected to go inside government, serve, come out. Let another set go inside, serve, come out. So it's like a relay. You run your own. You hand over the baton to the next person. Imagine in a relay team, if the person who started the relay say, I want to run it to the end, you are tired, you are injured, you are running zigzag, then you won't hand over the baton to the next person. And you are making the team to lose. So that's why Team Nigeria is losing. Because the people carrying the batons in 1966, they don't want to hand the baton to the next person. And they have run out of ideas, they run out of goodwill, they run out of credibility, they run out of everything. But it doesn't stop us from putting the effort. I am going there tomorrow. Last time we were there, about a month or so ago, I gave a speech which both General Abubakar, Bishop Kuka, Satan Oshokoto, everybody said, well, that was the crowning speech for all of them. I reminded them that all of this is nothing. It's about the country. All these big men, they were even struggling for chair. In this last one, PDP doesn't want to sit where PDP should sit. So they were all struggling for chair. And all sorts of confusion everywhere. Labour that has not even gone anywhere. They're already going to sit in the seat that's meant for Showore, blocking everywhere, all looking for advantage. And in the end, the thing Ali didn't hold. Showore stood up and refused to sit down because he was right. How can you go and sit in my seat? Because you want to sit close to the beginning. Yeah, my own is AAC. Your own is L, 5 behind. I'm SDP. I thought I would sit next to PRP and PDP. My party founders, they saw A before they went to choose S. So you sit where it is supposed to be. So we are continuing to do it. We continue to do it because it is what we need to do. We need to have a civilized nation running a responsible government. There's no other solution to our problem than that. And it must start with restating order in the land. And peace is not for the benefit of politicians. Peace is for the benefit of the citizenry. That is why I'm going there. I'm not going there because I want to go and reward APC, PDP, Labour with the bag. I'm going there because it is germane to the peace. You can see this simple problem over change the color of Naira. Do you know that up to a dozen people have fallen casualty in different parts of the country?
Okay, Prince. We are short of time. If you can, in the next 60 seconds, all eyes, the eyes of the international community is on Nigeria now, and we have a lot of groups, Commonwealth groups, the EU, and all of them in Nigeria to witness this election. How important is the validation of these groups in the eye of the international community?
I am interested in my country. The international community, I welcome them, I thank them. We also go to monitor elections in their country, but they are not my priority. My priority is that Nigerians should have a feeling at the end of the election that they have truly chosen their own president. And they should be happy the way they were happy when Abiola was chosen, 1993, June 12th. So that's the kind of feeling. Once you have that, the international community will see the happiness of Nigerians. I want Nigerians to rejoice, pour onto the street in celebration when the next president is chosen. I don't want them to go and be sad and say, we have been robbed, we have been cheated. Oh, this is not the person we want, and start wahala again. So the international community is not my problem. My problem is to see that Nigerians actually go out, vote for the president of their choice, and I believe that by God's grace, I should be the president of Nigerians' choice, and I plead with them to vote for me. But in any case, everyone should go out and vote according to their conscience. Don't vote for money. Don't vote for religion. Don't vote for ethnicity. Don't vote for propaganda. Vote to eradicate poverty and insecurity. And then the results will please everybody. And that will be a good beginning. And when Nigeria is doing well, the international community is like a thermometer that you use in the hospital. They put it under your arm. Whatever your temperature reads, is what you read. If you don't have fever in your body, the thermometer will say your body is okay. If the international community comes here and see Nigerians celebrating on the street, very happy, rejoicing, they'll go and report it and say, they have chosen a very popular person and they're happy. If we are throwing stone, rioting, do everything, then they are not going to be able to report well, no matter the quality of the person we choose.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Adewole Adebayo, presidential candidate, Social Democratic Party. It was so interesting talking to you. And
thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Well, that's a package on Inside today. Tomorrow and Thursday, we will continue with this series before the election. Inside returns tomorrow with another interesting topic. My name is Lawrfence Umoette. Enjoy the rest of the day.